Little Matchgirl Passion is unique in many ways. The first, most obvious way is in its design. It was composed originally for 4 solo voices, solo singers, each of whom plays a percussion instrument. This in itself is something unusual and very particular in its way. And it creates a kind of ritual atmosphere in the sense that the soloists are, as it were, group leaders, telling a story and punctuating the story with these instruments. Another very interesting thing about the piece is the sort of expressive program of it, because musically it employs a vocabulary that's a little outside of our common vocabulary, certainly in the opera house, in that it was the composer's intention, David Lang's intention, to tell the story, as it were, objectively, to present the facts of the story, which is a tragic story, and to allow the listener to formulate his or her own response to the story.
It's very interesting because this was not intended to be a staged dramatic work in an opera house. We are the first interpreters in this medium. Everyone's been very open and we've been able to explore ourselves, explore the music, and explore dramatically through Miss Zambello's direction, the piece, and ourselves.
The most interesting exploration we've done is just talking among the 4 of us about Corinthians, where it's drawn from, and what a universal idea it is, that it's both religious and just a human lesson about kindness, about charity, about love. That's what, do not stand idly by, do not stand helplessly by, because by the time you go to help somebody, it'll be too late. That's what happens in the piece.
I decided to go to the composer David Lang. I asked him would he consider if we could perform it with a children's chorus and 4 adult soloists. He willingly consented, and he also gave us a wonderful gift of a short prologue to the piece, a new creation, a world premiere that is for our children's chorus.
The children's chorus, what a brilliant move on Francesca's part to have them. As I've talked to audiences who have seen the show, their reaction to the children's chorus is very strong, because to see kids basically bully this little girl, that tells a very different story than just adults who are busy in their lives, who are oblivious to the fact that a child might be suffering. Children deliberately turning their back on each other is difficult to watch.
Absolutely, they are lovely. And you know, when we first heard them, the soloist and David Moody, the maestro, we were all sitting there and like, this is really hard music. And then to see these kids, you know, at first, like, it's been a big process for them, because at first they were terrified of it, they weren't singing out much, but now they're just settling into it and doing their thing, and it's really kind of inspirational to watch them work.
I'm the Glimmerglass Festival Children's Chorus Master, which means that I'm lucky enough to teach the children their music for the chorus for the Little Matchgirl Passion this summer. We chose 22 students who come from 9 different school districts within about a 50-mile radius. This opportunity gives our kids, who are exceptionally talented, the chance to do a level of music and to participate with other kids that they don't have anymore because it's not available in their school systems. If they live near a big city, they'd have these opportunities. Out here in the rural area, it's wonderful that the Opera Festival can give them the same opportunity.
Well, this music is really, it's a lot different, and it makes you think more because it's such a different kind of music. Like, it's not contemporary, it's not anything, it's just a different kind of music that's fun to sing. It's been a good experience.
The prologue has been really cool to sing because it's just all of us lined up on the stage, and it's a really raw moment, and I like that it's just our voices, and the message of it is really good.
This is my first production, and I feel like it's a very growing experience for me wanting to go into a theater business. And we're all family here, so it's really been fun working with other kids my age and being able to grow from this experience.
The music it's interesting. It's not something I've done before. It's a little darker than what I'm used to singing, but it also tells a story. It's a story and also delivers a message.
My favorite moment in Little Matchgirl Passion comes quite late in the piece, and it's the first time we hear all of the percussion instruments played together. It's not a vocal moment, it's really an instrumental moment, which for a piece that's basically a vocal piece is unusual. And it's such a moving thing finally to hear sort of in concert all of these instruments. We've heard most of them as the piece goes along, but it's usually a sort of lonely, chilly glockenspiel note, or a sort of distant bass drum. And finally we hear the glockenspiel, the bass drum, the crotales, and sleighbells played together, sort of igniting the beautiful final choral moment of the piece. And this has always been my favorite moment, as much as there are so many wonderful moments in the piece.